talking about the band, I was wondering when you reunited, there was any intention to having Amanda back by any chance?
No.
No?
No, I mean, Amanda's career did better than ours, right? she didn't need us. Amanda, after her very short time in the band, because she was only with us for 2 years.
Yeah.
After that, she went on to do songwriting and performing with, Golden Palominos, Bob Mould, Susie Sue, Thompson Twins, lots and lots and lots of touring with Psychedelic Furs.
Wow.
She doesn't need information society.
Well, it's not, I mean, if she had some fun back then, I don't know. Clearly the two most probably watch videos are with him, the one with her, and
Yep.
maybe it's a. Do you talk to her or?
Occasionally, and I've seen her a few times over the years, but no, there was never any discussion of that. Amanda has her own career.
Sure. And I remember when you released "Don't Be Afraid," going in an industrial direction. Actually, "Empty" is my favorite song, and
I like that one too. Hold on a moment.
Yeah.
Halvard.
What?
I'm doing a recording here, so don't play that very loudly, okay?
It was just turning off the alarm.
Okay, I didn't know what it was because I had headphones on.
So I had to shut this off.
I love it.
All right, I'm back.
Sure. Why you went in that direction? Why you chose doing industrial? I love industrial music, so I'm happy you made that.
Well, the real question is, why didn't I go in that direction before? And it's because I wasn't doing it by myself, right? I was doing it with Paul, and we were on the Tommy Boy label, who wanted a certain kind of music, and Paul didn't want to do industrial music. So it's more like that's when I was able to go in that direction.
Bueno, le pregunté qué lo había hecho, qué lo llevó a hacer música industrial con uno de los discos, y en realidad él me dice, bueno, la pregunta sería, ¿por qué no hice antes música industrial? Y es porque obviamente estaba primero en un sello, Tommy Boy Records, que querían cierto tipo de música. Con Paul teníamos este estilo de música en Information Society, y después le pregunté si ha pensado seguir haciendo cosas dentro del estilo de la música industrial. Vamos a ver qué nos dice. Are you thinking to do anything industrially in the future again?
Well, I mean, not with Information Society, if that's what you mean.
Oh,
certainly. No, Paul wouldn't want to do that. It's not his thing.
Right.
That's something I did by myself. But I've done a few things with a few other people over the years that are more like that, but not as Information Society, no.
And what did you do?
Well, my favorite thing, I think, which I'll send you a link to this right now.
Oh, okay.
Is if I can find it, is a cover of a Gordon Lightfoot song called his song was called "The Wreck of the Edmund Fitzgerald," but I called mine "The Witch of November." I just sent you the link, so you can check that one out.
Okay. Bueno, él de manera independiente ha grabado un cover de Gordon Lightfoot, que me mandó el link, en algún momento lo veré, y ahí estuvo trabajando con uno de los músicos de Hate Department, que le dije que también esa banda me gusta, y ahí, bueno, ahora le voy a preguntar casualmente cuál es su banda de música industrial favorita. What is your favorite industrial band?
I've never ranked them so that I know who is the absolute top favorite, but I really like KMFDM.
Really?
Yeah, of course.
Ah,
Who
it's my
doesn't? I mean,
favorite one.
they're so reliably always there, always doing what they do. I really respect that. And of course, Nine Inch Nails was sort of my gateway drug. That and Ein Stürzende Neubauten.
Mm,
And more recently, I've really liked some of the stuff by And One and Laibach, of course. I've been into
Laibach.
Laibach for more than 30 years.
Yeah.
Yeah. I think probably the very first industrial band that I got into, and we didn't have that term yet, was Deutsche Amerikanische Freundschaft, that most people just call DAF or DAF. They were the first people I heard, well, them and I think Suicide, who were just doing drums and bass synths.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
I don't know anyone else who did it
No
before them,
guitars.
except maybe Suicide. Right.
Yeah.
And that they were a huge influence on us. You know, Paul and I were both listening to that stuff even before we started making our music. So that's a big one for me too. I mean, later they went in a different direction. They got much more fluffy and pop, and I respect that. But it's not the kind of stuff that I'm talking about now.
Cool.
I was into Front 242 for a while, of course, as is every male of a certain age. And you know, recently I've been liking Eisenfunk. They're awesome.
Night Celeb.
Yeah. Frontline Assembly.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
Skinny Puppy.
Yeah. You know, it's like, it seems like they always have one song on each of their albums that I think is just awesome, but then the rest of the album doesn't really excite me too much. Juno Reactor. Juno Reactor is one of my favorites. Really like Juno Reactor.
Yeah, I think I have one or two CDs. Yeah, it's much more EBM, right? More.
I guess. I mean, you kids
upbeat.
today and your terminology, but yeah. You know, they played a lot at the goth clubs too.
Yeah. Combi Christ.
Yeah, our manager was Combi Christ's manager up until recently. Combi Christ has some good stuff. Aesthetic Perfection. It's not bad. I'm looking at my music collection here. What?
What did you say?
What did you say? Oh, and Leather Strip. Leather Strip is awesome. Yep. Klaus is my homie. And there's this act called Will. I don't know if I don't know what they've done since then, but in the early 90s, I was way into this EP they put out called Word Flesh Stone.
I gotta check it out.
Yeah.
Another one that I like is Wumpskut.
Wumpskut. Yeah, I've got some of that.
Yeah.
I wasn't correcting you. I was just pronouncing it in a silly way.
No. Yeah. I speak Spanish, so I. Bueno, le pregunté acerca de sus bandas de música industrial favorita y bueno, me dijo que MFDM, que es la mía también. Saludo a Sasha y Lucia. Y empezamos a hablar un poquito de bandas, ¿no? De la música industrial, bandas que él mencionaba, que yo mencioné, ahí escucharon todas. Por ejemplo, mencionó a Juno Reactor, que yo tengo Bible of Dreams, me había olvidado que tenía ese disco de ellos, que está muy bueno. Bueno, Combi Christ, y empezamos a hablar, ¿no? Night Celeb no le gusta demasiado, Skinny Puppy les gusta, pero como que tienen un tema que le vuela la cabeza, y el resto del disco es bastante pasable de alguna manera. Leather Strip, bueno, Laibach, un montón de bandas viejas. Él comentaba que escuchaban alguna de esas bandas, había hablado de una de Das, creo que es alemana, que la escuchaban incluso con Paul antes de haber empezado con la banda Information Society. Así que está bastante interesante la charla. Does any style you would like to play and you never played? Like tango maybe, or bachata? I made you laugh.
I don't know. I've never thought of that.
Anything that you listen it and say, oh, I would love to maybe someday get to some Cuban people and play some salsa. I don't know. I'm just
Well, I did, you know how we did a cover of Snake Fingers' Man in the Dark Sedan recently, right?
yeah.
A long, long time ago, I remember thinking, I mean, music has changed so much in Jamaica since then that this wouldn't even be valid anymore. But at the time, in the 80s,
Mhm.
I was thinking, God, it would be great to take this song to Jamaica and make a whole reggae thing out of it, because it's kind of a reggae song, really, in its original form. Never did that, but I would have liked.
I would love to see how can mash reggae with industrial bass and see how might fit.
I don't know, man. That is a difficult combination. The emotional tones that those two genres have are almost contradictory.
That is why it's a
It'd be
challenge.
difficult. Yeah, yeah. It's like in the mid and late 80s, everybody was convinced, right, that the way forward was to combine guitar rock with rap, and that was going to be the winning combination if someone could just figure out how to do it. Well, the reason nobody could figure out how to do it really was that the two genres had contradictory emotional experiences behind them, and I think they had contradictory emotional outlooks and attitudes. I don't think you can combine them.
Le pregunté qué onda de hacer un estilo de música que le gustaría realmente tocar y nunca ha tocado. Y le dije tango, lo hice reír, cosa que está bueno. Y él dice que había una canción de ellos que tenía una onda bastante reggae y que hubiera estado muy bueno llevarla a Jamaica y poder darle esa connotación más del estilo reggae, y que no lo hizo. Y le voy a preguntar un poquito de los 80, a ver qué onda. Vamos a hablar un poquito de la música de los 80. Information Society es un ícono de esa de finales de los 80, principios de los 90, así que vamos a ver qué nos comenta un poquito de esa era tan buena. You know what? I was checking on internet this week that there are some new parties are starting again, and one of the most themes that you can see and experience is 80s music. Why do you think the 80s music has so much impact nowadays, still in radios, maybe on nightclubs and parties, and it didn't happen with other music, and you were part of that. Technology?
It's a technology thing.
Oh.
Art doesn't significantly change until the underlying technology changes. And 80s music was the music that came up right after the huge revolution in audio equipment and technology, recording technology, and the electronic instruments that were being made. It was all being worked out by the manufacturers in the 70s. And there were a few people who got on it real early, like Kraftwerk. They had to make their own instruments in many cases. And, Gary Newman and DAF, like I mentioned before. But it didn't go mainstream until right around 1980 or so. So all that 80s music was the first wave of stuff that everyone was making with the new technology. The recording studio underwent a complete revolution between 1970 and say 1986. You wouldn't recognize one from the other. They were so different. So it was a whole new way to make music and completely new tools for making music. And so you had that period during which the music that was being made was this sort of Wild West frontier bonanza of, oh my God, we can do whatever we want now. So there was a lot of room for creativity.
Con respecto a la música de los 80, dice que fue exitosa por el tema de la tecnología. La tecnología fue lo que hizo que la música de los 80 fuera el boom. Y si bien la tecnología ya se venía preparando en los 70 con Kraftwerk y bandas así, el hecho de, bueno, básicamente eso, ¿no? Que el arte evoluciona, pero la tecnología ayuda a que evolucione aún más. Incluso el hecho de que se puedan utilizar nuevos sonidos permitió que mucha gente pudiera hacer un montón de cosas completamente diferentes, hasta, decía algo desde hasta el año 86, como que las bandas podían sonar completamente diferentes unas de otras hasta ese año. Y, y me dejó de repente para de hablar y queda en silencio, está buenísimo, le voy a decir eso. I like the way you finish the answers and
Well, I have to stop. I have to make myself stop because I'll just keep talking forever if I don't, right?
Well, you are the one that people want to know about, not
Yeah,
me.
I know,
mean,
but
I'm just
the longer I go, the less interesting what I say is. So I try to cut myself off
really
at a certain point.
I disagree.
No, I mean, if I let myself run on and on and on and on, and on, it starts to go.
Well, people lose attention really easy, but interesting people that are not taking things easily probably are keeping the interest. I'm interested in what is in your mind. Actually, you know what? I want to change the subject now, and since we were talking about industrial is related with the kinky communities.
Wait a minute.
Yeah.
Hold on.
Yeah.
Is this whole thing that you've said several times about like thinking I have an interesting mind, is this all a big setup to say that you want to know what's on my mind? Because if so, boo.
Well, I've been when I do an interview, I have to do a lot of work, not only listening your music that I have here. I'm gonna brag my small collection of Information Society. I have this one here that
I see the top one signed. I wonder if that's actually my signature. Hold it up to the camera.
Yeah, let me remove the. Yeah, I met you in person at the Pershing
Yeah,
Square.
that's me.
Yeah,
that's me.
And Paul and yeah.
Right, that was the night that I got to play on stage with Jerry Casale from Diva. And I thought, oh my God, I wish I could make a video of this and send it to myself at age 17 with a note that says, just hang on, it's going to be great.
I know it was Jerry. No, I mean, I didn't pay attention probably because, I don't know, I was enjoying the music with my friends, sitting. Beautiful
Well, I
night.
did introduce him.
Oh. Bueno, ahí le estaba hablando con respecto a que me interesa qué hay en su cabeza, ¿no? Es algo que hay en su mente. Me parece una persona interesante y me dice de que realmente lo estás diciendo porque si no, buh. Y porque le digo que de repente para, ¿no? Y como les decía recién, y me dice, lo que pasa es que si me pongo a hablar puedo estar horas hablando. Entonces, bueno. Pero la realidad es que queremos conocer un poco de él, ¿no? Y bueno, encima le estaba comentando de mis discos y justo hay uno que está autografiado, que fue en el Pershing Square, donde tocaron y ahí, bueno, tocaron con el cantante Devo, que es Gerald Casale, y él no lo anunció, por eso yo no me había enterado en aquel momento, aparte fue hace varios años y no me acuerdo de todo el concierto, pero me acuerdo que me había gustado mucho. You know what? I was reading that many musicians mentioned that Information Society was as an influence, including Lady Gaga. When you read something like that,
including Lady Gaga. What?
I've read that Lady Gaga mentioned Information Society.
Really?
I read it. I didn't hear it.
Well, she was coming up through the New York scene, like right around the time that we were having our heyday. Right? So I don't know, maybe.
Are you checking?
Yeah.
Sure.
Yeah, I don't see anything. I mean, I don't expect to find anything, but I just thought I'd try.
I've seen it last week while I was producing the the questions and it came up like, oh,
No,
okay.
no, you're right.
I mean,
You're right. Somebody wrote an article and they I mean, they don't cite any sources or back up this claim, but whoever wrote the article says, wait a minute, is this you? No, this is somebody in Carlton Boyd saying, your sound has inspired artists like Lady Gaga and a bunch of other people. And I didn't know that. Yeah, no idea. I mean, okay. Lady Gaga's a performer, right? I think much more than a songwriter.
Yeah.
I don't know exactly what the details of how her music is produced, but a lot of people in her position, and maybe her too, would focus on the live show and the singing and this maybe the lyric writing and so on, but it would be, she'd work with other people in the studio who deal with making the actual tracks and composing the music underneath the performances. And I wouldn't be surprised if that's how she operates as well. So really it would more be influencing her production team. But I don't know, who knows, maybe she sits in the studio by herself, recording all the tracks herself. Could be.
We'll see who think probably next recording will be a son of the band.
Yeah, that would be. Well, no, if Lady Gaga did a cover of What's on Your Mind, we'd probably get a few dollars from that.
Oh, ¿qué piensa de que músicos súper importantes como Lady Gaga de repente han hecho referencia de la música? Y bueno, le pregunté eso, ¿no? Y me dice que no sabía, lo estuvo investigando y ahí aparentemente que sale en una nota. Y bueno, destaca un poquito de que Lady Gaga es una persona que hace una performance, que actúa más que nada, no es compositora. Pero bueno, ¿quién dice el día de mañana componga alguna canción de Information Society? Y él dice, sí, bueno, nos vendría bien porque ganaremos unos buenos dólares. Y le voy a preguntar un poquito si tiene algún hobby. Vamos a ver qué nos dice. Do you have any hobby?
Yeah, roller skating and the band is a hobby, really. Mm-hmm. I mean, because it's not my job, right? So,
yeah.
But especially roller skating. I do a lot of video gaming, but that's not exactly a hobby. I like to work on various projects, but I haven't focused on any one thing. Like a few years ago, I did some woodworking. I made these staves and all decorated up, and then I'll do something completely different. But I'll usually only do it like once, and then I move on to something else. The only consistent thing for me has been roller skating.
Roller skating.
Mm-hmm. Oh, and I'm doing some writing. Not that I expect to ever do anything with it, but I'm writing a giant pile of non-narrative fiction by making just a bunch of simulated art, text artifacts and video and audio artifacts around a situation. The idea being that as you sift through them, you begin to understand the situation, and that's the fiction. Not as a narrative, but as something you investigate.
Le pregunté acerca de los hobbies y básicamente lo que más hace es andar en rollers. Hizo unas cosas en madera en una época, pero no es algo consistente. Y escribió un montón de cosas de ficción, pero no narrativas. Pareciera como si fuera la descripción de artefactos, según entendí. No fue muy claro lo que me dijo, pero por ahí en alguna subtitulación lo podrán entender. Y a ver, si tiene aparte un hobby, si colecciona algo. Me interesaría saber qué colecciona. And there's anything you collect besides boxes?
I'm against having stuff now. Having kids will do that to you. Yeah, you look at your house and there's 200,000 separate individual objects, and you just think, I wish I didn't have any of this. Right? But yeah, apparently my latest hobby is box forts.
I see.
Again, this is probably the last box fort I'll ever make, because I went all out. This is the best box fort I can make.
No, it's amazing. I mean, I will probably paint it and yeah.
I would give you a tour with the camera, but it's tethered to the computer with a cable, so I can't move
Next
it far enough.
time, you know, I gotta go to San Jose in some point to visit another guest that I have recently, Robert Berry, and
San Jose, California?
yeah. So if I'm going up, I'm in LA, I will probably let you know. And
I don't live in LA.
no, I'm saying if I'm going to California, you know.
Yeah.
Bueno, le había hecho la broma de si coleccionaba algo aparte de cajas. Por eso mostró la casita que hizo, que le hizo una casita para los chicos, con 3 habitaciones y una mira como para mirar para afuera de escape, algo así dijo. Una salida de escape. No colecciona nada. No le interesa conservar cosas, 20.000 cosas que después están ahí. Así que él no colecciona nada. Así que bueno, ahora vamos con la pregunta del artista, ¿ok? Después él que pregunte algo, ¿eh? Vamos con eso. So, now we're gonna have the question from another artist, and then I will ask you to...
From another artist?
From another
Okay.
musician, which is U96, a band
All
that
right.
recently made a new album with Wolfgang Flür from Kraftwerk.
Wolfgang Flür?
Mm-hmm.
Oh, awesome. You know, we did a couple of songs with Karl Bartos, who's another
Really?
Kraftwerk member. Yeah.
So we're gonna play now, and then it's up to you. Let me see if I can. I'm gonna stop here. And
What's the question? If concerts are going to happen?
well, do you think there will be big concert festivals?
Oh, like
and
everybody wanting to go out to concerts again because they haven't been able to for so long, that kind of thing?
Yeah.
I don't know. You know, 2 years ago I would have said, yeah, obviously, but I've noticed, you know, up here restrictions are off, like right, like we can do whatever we want now, and I noticed we're not really doing it yet. If this had lasted 3 weeks or even 3 months, I think then everyone would have gone, oh, well, yeah, we can go outside again. They would have done so. But everyone now has learned how to just be home all the time, and we're used to it. I think it'll take a while, right? I don't think people are going to be just wanting to go out and do anything for any reason, no matter what it is, like you might have thought. We haven't gone out at all yet, right? We haven't done anything. The first time we're going out and doing something that we didn't do during the pandemic is tomorrow. We're going to go for a drive. You know, but things aren't quite open yet either. Like the nightclub that I like here isn't opening up for another week or 2 or something. And some of the restaurants we like to go to closed, and we never like to go see movies in the theater anyway. And we've been going outside during the pandemic anyway. That's not really restricted, so I don't think this makes that big of a difference.
And
I think it'll take the concert promoter. Yeah, sometimes. I think it will take the concert organizers rather a long time to get their engines back up and running at full speed. You know, because as you know, it takes a damn long time to plan and organize and do all the business and of a concert, especially a big one. Those are planned out, you know, at least 6 months in advance, usually more.
Yeah.
And 6 months ago, we didn't know where we'd be now. So no one wanted to take the risk. You know, look at the Japan Olympics and how much trouble they're having now because they just decided we're going to do it in the summer of 2021, no matter what. And so now they're locked into that, and they might have to do it with no spectators.
Yeah. So now it's your turn. What would you like to ask my next guest? Open question.
All right. Next guest needs to be asked this. Although the standard model of subatomic physics has some gaps in it, many have said that string theory is not the savior to our understanding of the universe on a micro scale that some of its proponents claim it is, specifically because it doesn't produce any testable results. As one writer put it, it's not even wrong. So what do you think? String theory is worth pursuing or not?
Well, my next guest will be 12 years old, probably.
Perfect. Tell him to research string theory before he comes on.
Awesome. How people can reach the band? Website, social media?
We don't really do that. You can't.
No? Okay. No, there's no way to reach the band, okay?
Well, why would you want to? Right?
Well, probably to buy some music or check. I mean, I do it. I still do it.
You don't have to contact the band to do that. Right?
If someone contact you, do you reply or is Paul who
very, very, very rarely.
Okay.
Very rarely.
Does anyone?
I mean, the bottom line is I already have a job and it's not being in a band, so I'm busy.
Right. What do you do on a daily basis?
I am a video game developer. I work with the sound, the sound and the music for video games.
Your favorite video game sound, I mean, music, what will be?
Well, Jeremy Soul's work on the various Elder Scrolls titles is remarkable. Very, very good. Probably at the top of my list. I really like what Jeremy Soul has done. I think I liked his music in Oblivion even better than his music in Skyrim. Although the music from Skyrim is the most well-known because the game was a bigger hit.
Bueno, lo que dice es que no cree que pronto se va a reactivar mucho las cosas, si bien hay ya conciertos dentro de Estados Unidos, pero fuera de Estados Unidos todavía hay muchas restricciones. Acá recién acaban de pasar a la mínima restricción. Si hubiera sido algo que hubiera durado un par de semanas, de repente sí, a las pocas semanas, como que toda la gente saldría de repente de vuelta, pero como que la gente se acostumbró a estar adentro de su casa y eso va a tardar un poquito para que cambie. La pregunta que hizo él no la entendí, algo de las partículas de los testículos, es una broma, porque no la entendí. Le dije que era para una persona de 12 años, por eso se rió y bueno, al final me parece que no vamos a poder usar esa pregunta para otro artista, a no ser de que la respuesta sea bastante graciosa a lo que pregunta, o si la entiende, tal vez si la entiende, sí. Le pregunté cómo podían ubicar a la banda y me dice, ¿quién hace eso ya? Bueno, hay una página que está obviamente en Information Society, yo he chequeado páginas de bandas, normalmente lo hago. Así que si lo ubican, si le escriben a la página, el muy raro que responda, dijo, yo estoy todo el día trabajando, trabaja haciendo la música para videojuegos, y ahí le pregunté cuál era su música favorita de videojuegos, y él comentó ahí un nombre que no entendí bien. Así que bueno, básicamente eso creo que fue todo lo que hablamos hasta el momento. Anything else you want to say since you're watching right now, to your fans? People in the world.
Now, my pronunciation is going to be bad because I've learned Portuguese pronunciation and it's quite different.
Sure.
So a lot of these I'm kind of guessing. Now, if you start a word with an R in Spanish, it's a rolled R. It's not the H that the Portuguese do, right?
Yeah. It's R.
Right.
Yeah.
I thought so. So in Portuguese you say Rio, but in Spanish you say Rio.
Yeah, with the Rio.
Okay,
yeah.
Okay. Recuerde que serán muchas personas diferentes a lo largo de su vida. Quien quiera que sea ahora, esa persona se perderá para usted en el futuro. Nada prevalece. Usa el momento que tienes.
Amazing. Yeah. Was quite easy.
Could you even understand what I was saying?
Yeah.
Okay.
It was easier than the question about the testicle theory that you did before. So, well, Kurt, man, I really enjoyed this. Did you enjoy it? You have fun?
I always have fun. Have a
Cool.
good time all the time.
Awesome.
Right.
Awesome. Well, next time, I hope to see you in person so you can autograph my other CDs, okay? And maybe you have a single or something getting dust since you don't want to have things. And was my birthday a few days ago.
Hell no. I've only got like 10 discs left.
Really?
Yeah, and they're mine.
If
Mine.
I get there, they won't be yours anymore.
Oh, man.
Kurt, thank you for having this time with us, okay, for your time. And now I'm going to say goodbye to you first.
Gracias al mundo.
Ok, yo me despido hasta la próxima. Gracias a todos por estar con nosotros. Les mando un abrazo y nos vemos con más Explos la próxima.